blockbuster trade or the societal impact of sports, two men and Fred Slow with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
The Sports Animal. That's my cue from now on. I got it.
Hello! Albuquerque! It's Wednesday.
Are these working?
You know what that means? It means if you log on to our website, sportsanimal.com, to register for our first trip on the thing.
That one seemed low yesterday.
The mono?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start this dry read over. I read it before the show. I was ready.
Doesn't seem that way.
Mono is just
Log on to our website, sportsanimal.com, to register for our first trip on the Tankful this year. On the Cumbres in the Toltec Scenic Railroad.
A little C&T?
Little
Dang, baby, let's go.
You will get tickets the longest and highest narrow gauge railroad in America.
How high is that one? I'm pretty high right now.
Man, that's your gouge, brother. Plus $150 gas card.
They might be a little too hot, so.
The only way to win is log on to sportsanimalabq.com. Register there and you have a chance to
that's fine.
get tickets for the longest and highest narrow gauge railroad in America.
That's super exciting.
I am here. Dan Numley is here. I am Fred Slow. Kaylina is here, who yesterday I heard doesn't use her last name anymore on the show.
Nope.
So what do you want me to do? You want me to stay toe here? Like, what's your plan?
Oh, I was just messing around. I don't care. Do you remember my last name?
Do it.
Now hold
work
on.
Together.
I thought Kaylina was your last name.
Oh, yeah. It's
And
me too.
the Lovely is your first name.
Oh, I didn't remember telling you that. You're so right.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
The Lovely Kaylina back.
So Scotland, Kaylina Scotland.
Yeah, that's me. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I know your name. What, we work together. What is this?
I'm just checking. I don't remember what day it is in the week.
We know you were late yesterday.
Yeah, okay. It was traffic, and so was our co-hosts.
Who
So
was that?
There was much traffic.
I did hear there was some traffic.
I was like waiting in line, like it.
In
Something that
line?
should only take 15 minutes to 30.
There was like legit big city traffic because of wrecks. That's not just like
There was some rain.
not just like Albuquerque traffic where you should be on time anyways because you would have left at the right time and
No, I
you're
did leave
and you're
it
just
right.
lying to me
That's what I
because like not you, Kaylee.
Well,
I'm
Kaylina's
talking about
lying.
in hypothetical situations.
Kaylina said she was in line.
Both of you were
Yeah, I
actually
warned you
met
it was
with
a
traffic
lie.
yesterday.
She should have said traffic jam. You don't go to the
Yeah.
grocery and you're in a traffic jam. You go to the grocery, you're in a line.
Oh,
You
that's my point. It was so bad.
Well, you're in a queue, innit?
Yeah. Just posted up here for a little bit, aren't we? Is
In a queue.
that what it is? Were you listening to them talk about you not being on the show in the car while you weren't on the show?
No, I missed it by like a couple of
Pretty
seconds.
meta.
Yeah.
That's super meta.
That'd be sweet. She was listening to KRST, obviously.
Uh,
Country artist Kaylina.
Everyone does. That KRST's where is it at?
Hey,
Bobby G.
not TSL.
Boys to Men.
That's a
ABC.
A little behind the scenes radio lingo there.
Yeah, that stands for when you go through the airport,
hmm
security line.
TSL pre.
Yeah, pre.
Mm-hmm.
NBA draft is tonight. We're going to talk about that. That will be fun.
Dang.
All right, everyone, let's start. Let's all do
We got
it
a
together.
ticker? When does this thing start?
6.
I'm sorry.
Six.
We have a ticker.
6.
Okay. 6
All
o'clock.
right. So we're all going to say it together so we have it right all year. Ready?
Okay.
Ready? Cooper Flag.
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 Full.
Flag.
Flag.
Cooper Flag.
Flag.
All right, just
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
end up with a
We got
Chip Carey
hey,
situation.
we got flagged for inappropriate language the first time we talked about that guy.
100% true.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. Speaking of June, Cooper Flag getting drafted tonight. That's
Yep.
going to be a big deal. I don't think we didn't talk about it when he said Chip Carey, hello moment on the broadcast.
I mean, it happens to the best of
It
them.
does, like Chip Carey.
And when I say best of them, I mean us sitting right here.
Cooper Flag.
Flag.
Got it.
Yes, flag.
So he's from Duke.
Yeah.
He will go first.
Duke is the flag capital of the United
That
States.
is correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's where because you have
Mhm.
on the hill, Chapel Hill, there's a lot
Correct.
of
There's a hill. Flags on the
wind
hill.
there. It gets keeps them more or less fully erect. More or less.
Correct.
The
Speaking of
Flags.
June.
So he will go first. Now, did they change the draft order again, or is it still Dallas?
I believe,
Okay.
unless something's happened
Uh-huh.
in the past 4 minutes and 30
Right.
seconds,
And it can, brother.
it can.
I'm updating
Still Dallas.
NBATradeRumors.com, which is not an official partner of the program. My index finger hurts from updating.
Mhm. That's like them trading out of number one and getting a haul, which would be legendary haul for Cooper Flag. That'd be like Cleveland in 03, be like, all right, hear me out. What you gonna give us for LeBron James? What you thinking about parting with for old Bronny boy?
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Because he's like one step below Braun on the sure thing-a-meter.
How old is he? 19?
Yeah.
They're little babers.
Graduated high school early. He pulled a Bryce Harper is what he did. Graduated high school early, so he can go to college early, so he can go to the NBA early.
He's the best draft pick since ever.
I think there's been in the NBA
Yeah, Wimby.
a small handful in baseball, small handful in football, but in the NBA in the past 25 years, LeBron, Zion, Wemby, and now Cooper
The
Flag.
difference between Zion and those other guys is he was always fat and always didn't play against the best competition until his time at Duke, and even though he was surrounded by players who were good enough to be at Duke.
Mhm.
LeBron and Wemby and Cooper Flag have all played against people bigger and older and more talented, and he got strong and mean like those other guys also did. And he will show up and be very good very fast.
Well, I mean, Zion, when you see him healthy on the basketball court,
He's with a gal.
unstoppable. But his love for food and his pure hatred for exercise has kind of led to his demise as a basketball player. Fred, you're no athlete, obviously.
Obviously. That's
So-
what Kaylina always says.
What she leads with that every time she sees it.
says,
Fred,
That Fred's slow?
you're no athlete, but also, hello, how are you?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what she says.
Fred's slow metabolism, she says.
So diet and exercise are like the two most important things to being an athlete, like more than talent. Obviously, Zion being an example.
He just doesn't know how to work hard. He's not athletic.
There's only so many Bartolo Colognes in the world.
You see how thin
Zion Williamson, you're no Bartolo Cologne.
Have you seen how thin he is now?
Have I looked up pictures of Bartolo Cologne recently?
Mhm.
If you're telling me he's medium or small sexy and he's not big sexy anymore, I don't want to see it.
Feel free to look up large, tall Bartolo Colon.
Right. You know how like in your head, like you see Bruce Jenner winning all those gold medals?
I think of that often.
Yeah. I only want to see Bartolo Cologne like at big and tall commercials.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see him svelte and skinny. I don't want to see him surfing is what I'm saying. I don't want to see him svelte and skinny on a surfboard.
What I don't want, and I'm not going to do a Bartolo Colon accent because I feel like that would be insensitive to individuals of strong
Do
Spanish-speaking
you
accent.
know where he's from?
Bartolo Colon?
Yeah.
Equator adjacent.
Okay.
He's from near the equator.
Excellent guess.
Perhaps.
You could just say Caribbean. He'll get you closer.
Well, where's the Caribbean?
He is Dominican.
That's what I just
He's
said.
Dominican. That's not what you
So
said.
I was doing the 30,000 game where I started 30,000 feet up. And then I worked my way down based off your enthusiasm and answers to the geographical locations that I was naming.
Well, he's not from the Andes,
Yeah, I wasn't
so
going to say
cross
that.
that one out.
So I was going to say,
No,
I was
he's
gonna
not. He's
say-
not Swiss.
I'm going to say equal.
Cross that one out.
So are you?
He's not from Denver. But you can cross that one out.
Are you doing Capricorn or Cancer?
I was doing mountaintops.
Okay, those are
If you're
good.
starting with 30,000.
So I was gonna go. Sorry, my answer is lost in the Bermuda Triangle. And then, depending upon how you responded to that, I was going to.
So you think Bartolo Colon lost like 5 pounds and he looks like a completely different person now? Is that what you're doing?
He looks good, don't he?
He looks the same.
I mean, no.
I know so. I have 20/20 vision.
Well, it's 2025.
He's lost like 7 pounds.
2025. 2025 is when
He is not diverted that much from my mental image
He is very
of
thin.
Bartolo
All right,
Colon.
do me a favor. Look at today picture of Bartolo. Sweet, very sexy, sleek
Mhm.
Bartolo Colon. Look at that picture.
None of those adjectives are correct.
Yeah. Look at Svelte Cologne.
Nope.
Look at Svelte colon. And then look at him when he hit that one home run with the Mets.
I mean, I think that he's lost enough weight to where his primary care physician isn't worried about Bartolo Colon cancer. So that's good. But not like enough to where he's not still big sexy. It's a colon joke, Kayleen. It's a colon joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of weight. This one.
He has not.
I just looked at him again to confirm what I already knew.
No.
He's lost more weight than by number of votes than Andrew Cuomo lost it.
Hey, isn't that exciting?
That is exciting.
How is Shams Sharina going to report on the NBA draft and be the mayor of New York City?
Sham Shim Sharina, Sham Shim Shari. You get that one?
Yes, that one.
I knew you. I knew. See, we're in your wheelhouse over here. So if you look at Bartolo Colon playing Harlem Globetrotters basketball versus what he looks like today, he's looking really good.
I don't want to say only
Yeah.
because health is wealth, baby.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's been
be
saying
as
that.
be as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
Only, it seems a little offensive, but he's only lost 20 pounds.
That's not it.
That's not a lot, dude. That's not a lot. When you're 300 pounds and then you're like 285,
That's a lot.
how much did you lose? You lost like creeping up on triple digits. You lost
No,
a lot.
I've not lost 100 pounds, but I've lost
80.
no, like 50.
That's still good.
It's good.
That's like 2 Bartolo Colons worth.
Of loss? Or
Yes,
total?
of loss, not total. You would be in the negatives.
Here's what I'm trying to get to. If I'm Dallas, I trade Cooper Flag for all those draft picks that the Jets have. Not the Jets.
Okay, Thunder,
No, I'm blowing the joke.
Mets.
The Nets. Thank you. They got 5 of them in the first round.
No good ones though. All the good players are gone by number 8. So the Nets have the first bad pick at number 8, and then they have 4 more after that.
Somebody else.
All the stars are gone. Like all the good players will be gone.
8th, 19th, 22nd, 26th, and 27th.
Doesn't matter.
All right,
There's like 6 good players.
I can have a
They'll be
starting
gone.
lineup of rookies.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that's fun. That's not good.
Keep it under that luxury tax. Also, I just started learning there's different tiers of luxury tax. Has the NBA been keeping this from me for some time?
I think in basketball they call them aprons.
Yeah, they're aprons.
Different aprons.
What?
Trying to get women into basketball.
Oh,
Make-
I'm not a waitress at Hooters. Like, what is the? I don't care about
Are
this.
there pieces of flair on your apron?
Yeah, how many?
Yeah.
I noticed you're wearing the minimum number.
Yeah.
What was it now? 5
Do
of
you
flair.
do you put your your book where you take orders at Applebee's? Do you put that in your apron, NBA? Is that what you do with it?
Those cute little waitress books that existed when we were kids,
Mhm.
and the gals we knew growing up with, and
Yeah.
our parents had as their waitressing jobs.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Now they just got their cell phone in their pocket,
Yeah,
and ChatGPT listens to them order, and they just writes the order down for
I
them.
think that's close.
Yeah, it's super close.
And then they go, "What do you mean you're not writing this down?" They go, "I don't know. I'm really good at this."
I'm just really good at
Yeah,
this.
and then they go over to the cash register and read it off their phone.
Yeah.
And then you end up tipping. I guess it's only socially acceptable to tip 35% or more now because I'm tired of dirty looks and I tip
Mhm.
20%.
Uh-huh.
I get that your job's hard. I get that you're a waiter or a server or whatever.
Mhm.
I can't, in good conscience,
Yeah.
give you more than $1 per drink. I'm not trying to be a jerk here,
Sure.
but if you bring me 5 drinks,
Now, if we're talking like pouring beer or pouring wine
yeah, that's
or
what I'm
making
talking
like a
about.
whiskey Coke,
Yeah, that's $1.
it's $1 a drink.
That's $1 a drink.
Are you making me like some crazy bartender
Yeah.
competition concoction
Are you
that
doing
takes you
that?
15 minutes? Because then we're talking,
Yeah.
waiter numbers.
Oh, what is that? Is that a hint of tahini? Yes, and we'll tip a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what you get. Ooh, elderberries.
Feel free to
Nice.
turn your microphone on when you laugh. We're very funny.
I'm not laughing.
Roll it out.
Nice.
I'm just contorting my face.
She's holding it back.
Maybe.
Oh,
Did
there's
you guys
one.
hear about that robot that they stuck googly eyes onto to convince people to tip it when it made like coffees?
Tell us about it when we get back from the break. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, Sports Animal. Welcome back to
make it roll. Yeah, somebody got juice, got dough. Hands in the air, don't move, now go.
Welcome,
You gave up, and I hate to brag, but when you think I get this cash,
welcome.
first, you're gonna have to take a drag. Take time to catch.
Welcome back to 2 Men On. Oh, got another one. Kaylina back in the production booth, first time in a long time. We can't tell.
You're gonna go from a song to song, you gotta scratch a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I tried. The program just doesn't like it. I'm sorry. Oh, come on.
Putting googly eyes and things is funny.
Yeah, until they expect you to tip the googly eyes.
Now, who says this?
It was on TikTok. I watched it.
Oh, so this isn't real news. So
no,
what
it wasn't a TikTok that I watched. They used it as an example.
do I need to do to get you to stop getting your news from TikTok?
Well, I don't get my news from TikTok. It was never mind. Someone else got the news from TikTok and we're making fun of it. That's
Well, the way you're delivering it, it's not even whimsical. It's not even a humorous touch.
okay. You do better.
On this story, I
Yeah.
did. I said putting googly eyes on things is funny. That's a super good bit.
No.
I'm not doing it. From now on, throughout the history of the universe, I'm doing nothing to upset a robot. I'm not putting googly eyes on it.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to be upset at my Roomba because it missed a spot. If my CD skips in my CD player,
Mhm.
by the way, a CD, it's
Oh,
short.
I know what
It's short for
CD.
compact disc.
Compacted disc.
It's used to play music. It's like a
And a mirrored finish.
yeah.
I'm not that young.
Oh,
but
whoops.
thank you for the reminder.
So even if my CD skips, I'm not going to be mad at the stereo like ever again.
what about
The
when
robots are always right.
messed up?
When my what?
Your what?
The tapes,
What tapes?
like VHR and your.
What's VHR?
Oh my god, I don't know what it stands for, but I used to watch it. All
That
the
was an
time.
incredible attempt.
Yeah, you were
And
so
we
close.
we
I
appreciate
would
the
watch
effort.
Star Wars. I would literally just like tell it to
So,
rewind,
we
and then
pause?
I'd start all the way from the beginning.
Can we rewind the story for a second?
Oh,
So
fine.
you either could have gone with VHS or VCR.
Yeah.
But you combining them into VCR.
Oh, that's funny.
VHR.
Okay, I get my mistake now. Thank you.
Now, in this order, here's where googly eyes work. Okay.
Okay.
I
Number
was
one,
trying to say cassette tape. That's the worst part. Anyway, continue.
cassette of what?
Oh, there's just one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So anything that kind of looks like it has a mouth on it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have like a thing where there's
Fruit.
yeah, like fruits.
Yeah.
And
Like
you cut open a pepper.
bruised fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a very funny one. Now, second, street signs that have silhouettes of people.
Correct.
If you put googly eyes where the eyes would be on
Yes.
the crosswalk guy.
Especially if you put two different size googly eyes.
Oh, all right.
You
so
hit
you're
'em.
doing upper level stuff.
Yeah, hit him with the Forrest
Mhm.
Whitaker. Yeah.
Bronze statues,
Mm-hmm.
put them on there. Where the eyes. would be.
Sure.
Okay, just want to make sure it's on there. Now, any sort of spigot coming out of a wall, immediately above that. Googly eyes, very funny then.
So if you didn't get that Forrest Whitaker joke, Kaylina,
It's got a
you
two different.
Fetty Wap it. Is that better?
Does that help?
Is that better?
No.
No? Less helpful? Okay.
Right.
Never mind.
The final best place to put googly eyes
Mhm.
is underneath your bottom lip onto your chin, and then turn a camera upside down and make it look as if your mouth is an alien's mouth, and that the eyes and the chin is the top of the alien's mouth. Bam.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've literally done fruit before
Mm-hmm.
because for whatever reason, I wound up with a bag of googly eyes at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And for, I would say, a series of months, I googly eyed things. And it's like, kind of like, you don't want to graffiti something, make it permanent.
No.
I don't want to damage property, but I'll throw some googly eyes on something.
From the texter, they're called wiggly eyes.
Wiggly eyes?
What?
Hmm,
What?
no, they are not.
Is that accurate?
It is not accurate.
Now, I'm not man, what's that called? That thing you have where you have to touch stuff before you believe it's real? What's that called?
I don't know. Look it up on wiggle.com.
Nice. The joke there, Kelly, is google.com.
Yeah.
We don't have to explain
Right.
we don't have to explain every joke.
I just sometimes keep them
Just our old timey jokes.
Uh-huh.
So if you put a bunch of wiggly googly eyes into a bowl and then just kind of run your fingers through it.
You
Yeah.
are disgusting.
I know.
You need help.
Madman.
You need to sign up for when's your next therapy session?
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough. I would agree. That's
Yeah.
exactly when it is.
From the texter of movie posters.
Yeah.
Okay. this is
Incredible.
clever. I
Incredible.
don't hate this.
Yeah. Incredible.
Donuts? I guess like you use the hole as the mouth.
No, because it's a choking hazard.
Are you afraid you're going
I-
to get googly eye?
No, I would because I would demolish a donut and not even look at it. That's why. I never eat donuts. So when I do, it's like I get high.
This definitely came out of like
All that
self-concern.
sugar and fried dough. Oh, very much. Yeah. Self-preservation, really.
I was like, that's how I go. I unknowingly choked on a googly eye.
Oh, God, that'd be awful. In my obituary. Lived a great life, full of rich and full experiences. Left behind family and friends who loved him dearly. 4:20 p.m. on the 9th day of June. Chokes to death on a overlarge set of googly eyes and a donut. Rest in peace, Van Medley.
Never saw it coming.
It's June 9th, Fred.
Eyes.
June 9th.
69.
Nice.
Okay. That's where you, that was the setup.
Yeah.
Now, it was a long burn to where I was going with this,
Uh-huh.
but the best place to put a googly eye
Mm-hmm.
is a lone googly eye, a singular googly eye.
You put googly eyes on a googly eye?
Mhm.
What do you exhibit?
The very,
heard you like googly eyes, so I'll put googly eyes on your googly eyes, dog.
that's your exhibit voice.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
What does TikTok say about exhibit, Kaylina?
Oh, I got nothing.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm barely on TikTok. If it had something to say, I wouldn't even know.
That's what a lot of people on TikTok say that they're barely on it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do this right,
Mm-hmm.
what you do is you walk around with a pocket full of those bad boys, like Johnny Googly Eye Seed, and you just spread them everywhere you go. You spread joy and love and laughter and googly eyes everywhere you go. Oh, dinner party at your coworker's house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, grandma and grandpa getting some googly eyes on their photos.
Just not in their food, so you don't kill grandma and grandpa the way.
Yes,
the way
who does
families
that?
go.
That's awful.
Well, I mean, you were afraid of it going on a donut, so I just want to say it's not off the table.
Fan
On the table would be a piece of bruised fruit
Yeah.
with googly. Everyone sees googly eyes on fruit, not donuts, because donuts, as we all know, are made out of pure crack cocaine, and you don't even look at it when you eat. You just go like
Yeah.
a Cookie Monster.
As opposed to fruit, which you have to stare at and like determine.
Inspect.
You're like, okay, I'm going to eat this. I'm going
Yeah.
to force myself to eat this.
I don't want dysentery. I want to inspect my fruit.
Yeah, this is not.
Not one person in the history of the world has ever gotten sick off of one donut. Multiple donuts, watch your back.
I'm trying to think if there's ever been a poisoned donut that I don't know about.
Or just somebody with an allergy that didn't know it.
You put them like on your friend's passenger window and then knock on their window and they look and
Yeah.
you take a picture of it and it lines up perfectly with the googly eyes.
These are all very good. Also, they come in multiple sizes now.
This is true.
Everybody knows that.
Oh, okay. Are you thinking the traditional black and white one, or are you willing to go into the entire like color spectrum of googly?
You know, I'm a purist, so
Yeah.
you know, get rid of the DH and only black and white googly eyes.
Getting rid of the DH, Kaylina, is a baseball reference.
Oh, thank you.
That's your center of the target logo. That's the answer. That's the best place to put one.
Dart tournaments, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what we're about. 2 minutes on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Googly Eye.
I was in a wreck. I need it checked.
Welcome back to the Two Men On. We're live in the studio talking to you about the world of sports NBA draft tonight. That's in like an hour and a half. Excited to tell you about it as it's happening. We'll do the regular show like up into it, and then we'll just do a bunch of reactions to it. Hopefully you laugh. There's always a very stupid, look how these young adults are dressed segment. We'll do that.
Every year never disappoints.
It always disappoints. 505-246-0610. Talk to us about your bad fashion decisions when you were younger. Kayleen, you're currently in a terrible fashion stage of your life. How's that feel?
Excuse me?
No, I'm good. Coming into your own is awesome. When you're like a young adult, you're ready to get drafted for a job. Like they did their job application, either their one last year or the series of years and all their youth up until now. But being able to get out in front of the world to see where you rank professionally amongst your peers is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal. You said it earlier. You said the 8th guy drafted is so laughably bad compared to the first guy drafted.
Yeah.
But somebody has to go 8. Do you just immediately laugh at that person?
Well, not immediately. Because there every few years, there's the diamond in the rough.
Oh, like
There's the friggin' rose that grew from concrete. There's some steel in the middle of the first, into the first, somewhere in the second round. Nikola Jokic.
the Suns are about to get 5.
The Nets.
No, the Suns have 5 round draft picks. They have Houston.
Oh, well, they got a bunch of lottery tickets. 'Cause second rounder is rare. Mid to late first rounder, even more rare.
Lots of trades as well. We'll talk to you about
There's
those.
so many.
The one I wanted to hit on, I guess the quickest, because it deserves some emotion, but not all of the emotion.
Is it when the Liver King traded his dignity for 15 more minutes of fame?
I don't know who the Liver King is. It's just like a
He's the guy who thinks that if you eat raw meat, you will get jacked like what he thinks caveman used to be look like. But what actually happened is he just took a bunch of steroids.
what are you going on about?
He's a famous internet personality.
See, that's where I get lost.
Yeah. If you've seen him, Google Liver King. Like, you've seen this idiot all over the internet. He went to Austin.
Van Morrison?
I'm sorry, what?
Wait, is that who it is?
You're thinking of the Lizard King, and that's Jim Morrison.
Is that not who you were mentioning?
No.
The Liver King.
Liver.
Oh,
Liver
the
King.
Lizard King came up.
Yeah. He is the Lizard King. He can do anything. But the Liver King, what he can do is steroids and lie to impressionable young men. But allegedly, and not allegedly, because this actually happened, it's being reported by KXAN News in Austin, Texas.
That's gonna be an Austin.
It is in Austin. He went to the Four Seasons Hotel. That's what a real rough and tumble guy.
That's where Trump did that press conference.
That's where he went to the Four Seasons Hotel in Austin and challenged Joe Rogan to a fight. And they arrested him on terroristic threats.
Is this real?
This is a real thing that happened today. And it was a real thing that I did not search for, mind you. It was thrust upon me. The internet shoved this in my face
So
and said, this is information
here's what I know.
that you should have.
I know quite a bit of things in life. I know quite a bit of things. This is a work. Because Joe Rogan worked for TKO UFC.
Mm-hmm.
TKO UFC has a partnership with the Paul. Joe Rogan is going to fight the Lizard King on Jake Paul Wrestling.
No, he will not.
Yes.
For all of his faults, Joe Rogan is light years more rich and famous than a guy who eats raw meat on the internet.
Okay.
He would not stoop to that level.
What is the level?
Celebrity fighting?
Yeah, he will. And he would win. And they'll make sure he wins.
Oh, I'd watch.
Yeah. And then that's when he does his face turn to Democratic Joe Rogan, liberal Rogan. And that Lizard King goes down as
It's not Jim Morrison.
I said it again, the Liver King. Also doesn't, and I might be inaccurate here, doesn't Joe Rogan live in Texas?
Yeah, that's why he went to Austin.
He did not fly to the Four Seasons in Austin to call out Joe
That
Rogan.
is literally what he did.
Are you being serious?
Hey, it worked. We're talking about it
Did he threaten him to his face or he did it over TikTok?
over the interwebs.
See,
of course.
this is nothing. You
They're
can't-
both short for American men.
How tall are they?
I think Joe Rogan's like 5'6".
Kaylina,
and
welcome back to
Liver
the
King
broadcast.
is like 5'7".
Helena, would you identify a man who is 5'6" or 5'7" as short?
I don't. That's like how tall I am, so that's kind of hard. I feel like it'd be
Well,
mean
she's
to
saying
call them
yes.
short.
She's saying yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're not like
It wouldn't be mean. It would be accurate. It's not.
That being said, I do tower over quite a few people, so I don't know. They're really short, but I don't. view
Who are
myself
they?
As tall.
yeah. They
Who are
them.
they?
Um,
Who are they?
Well, my physical therapist, because I'm old,
Okay.
but I swear I'm like a foot taller than her. She's awesome, but it makes me feel like gargantuan. Although I'm sure Fred deals with that all the time.
No, I don't feel tall because I am tall.
You don't feel short. You're just short. It's okay. I don't feel average. I'm just average. I can't change that.
Feel
5'10" and a half. Like that's not tall. It's not short. It's just
yeah, it's like,
it's just a size. It's one of the sizes.
but it depends on who
One
you're
of them in the
standing
middle.
next to.
I'm very often standing next to Fred. That doesn't make me short. It just
Yeah.
makes me
Short.
verifiably regular.
Okay,
Now,
that's fair. Actually.
if they were to win, they would be the champion. They'd be like the king in this fight
Whoever wins
between the two.
is the king. Was Joe Rogan referred to as the king before this?
Well, with all like no kings and then short kings, and
Mhm.
the only other real champion I know who's a king was Billie Jean. So I think this would be like passing on that legacy.
Also, hear me out.
Yeah.
Can this be to the death?
You're talking Thunderdome.
Yes. But the winner also gets off.
There is no way that the Lizard King is going to beat up Joe Rogan, who is a trained fighting person. I can't tell you what discipline he's in.
I believe it is Hebrew Jitsu.
I don't know.
Okay.
And if you put it on TV, you make all the money. And also, like, I don't know if you saw this, WWE's not going to be able to go to Saudi Arabia because I don't know if you heard there's like a bombing in Iran recently that maybe went well if you're listening to one side of the dial, and maybe went poorly if you're listening to the other. We're going to have to do something.
Or it's somewhere in the middle, like my height.
It was in Iran.
You doing flock seagull stuff right now?
Yeah. Where I was going.
So far away?
Yep.
You got to get away?
That's what I'm saying. TKO maxes out their monies. So first, and I don't know where the Liver King regularly lives. I will assume also Texas.
Middle Earth, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I looked at him.
Mm-hmm.
There's some words I would use to describe him.
Yeah.
One of them would be present on January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of the words I would use to describe him.
For sure.
But if they were to, and I want it like regulated, like something with gloves or something. But if they were to do that thing, you and I and Kaylina and all the friends of the show would watch it.
You can just look at somebody, you can tell that they have a bad relationship with their family.
Stop looking at me.
Not you,
Oh.
him.
That one. That's what I'm saying. This guy's face is what I would identify as punchable.
Very. You should, if you think his face is punchable, wait till you see his personality.
Raw meat eating fitness star? That's his name? That's his job title?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised this has, I know you're not into this world, but
No.
again, it was thrust upon me without my consent. So I do know a little bit about this. You know how, like, young people are stupid?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just this generation, because I was young once,
Uh-huh.
and I don't have any kind of, like, internal dialogue that's telling me that I skipped out on my stupid years. I was also stupid when I was young. I was also impressionable when I was young. But it seems like this next generation is even dumber.
So
Because when you have a guy who is obviously on steroids, obviously on human growth hormone and testosterone, and he's telling young idiots that if you just eat raw meat and exercise outside, you can get jacked like him. Like, he is a snake oil salesman. He's a charlatan. Like, he should be exposed.
in this video where he said, quote, "My name's Liver King. Man to man, I'm picking a fight with you. I have zero training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me, but I'm picking a fight with you. Your rules." He was holding some gold-plated firearms with his shirt off.
Yeah. Now you get the brand.
He went on to say, Joe, quote, "You can't pick a fight with a real king and then expect there not to be an actual fight, bro."
Now, Liver King is a self-imposed nickname, and we talk about self-given nicknames on this program all the time.
Makes you a loser.
He's a loser of epic proportion. Good job fooling a bunch of young, impressionable idiots and making money off of them. You're not a king of anything.
Now, here's why I think it's a work. Because this arrest video is on his personal Instagram or professional Instagram, whatever.
Well, the arrest was not a work. He was like actually arrested.
Then why is it on his social media? Why would he put that out?
Well, because he's proud of it. Because he's trying to draw up attention, which, hey, got me right in the cheek. I bit.
When we get back from the break, be nice to each other. It's Two Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. Squeeze this one in before the end of the hour. It's a real story. It deserves a ton of push, I guess. I'm going to say this. The fan who heckled Diamondback Kettle Marte over his late mother has been indefinitely banned from all Major League Baseball stadiums. The remarks you can find, I've seen them mixed, so I'm not going to quote anything. I hope his mother is disappointed in him. This kind of stuff. This is why I always think fans suck. This is why I always say
It's not an opinion.
no.
And I know you're painting with a broad brush here.
No, man.
It's
no.
not everyone.
Not everyone.
A bunch of lovely fans, a bunch of lovely people. But how often do we hear stories about fans doing something excellent versus how often do we hear stories about fans doing something horrible, like talking about or heckling a player about their deceased mother who died in a car wreck? Does not get lower.
It's wild. So he's gone forever from all the places. Obviously, he plays for the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks organization put together a charity effort to celebrate her name, her existence. The White Sox did some stuff. Also, this stuff kind of happens in the south side of Chicago a lot. I'll say this about Chicago. It is big. It has a huge populace. Not all those people are good.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give those people an opportunity to, often at a very cheap price with White Sox games, for a moment feel like they're superior to anyone else, who will abuse that. It is wild that this has happened.
Yeah.
The worst experience I ever had in sports was in Chicago. And that's the best way to say it. Often, the further you get up from the play, the worse the crowd gets.
Mhm.
The cheap seats are not because they're not good to be there. It's because they're not good to be around the people there.
Right.
And I will say in Chicago, there is a entitlement of fan that is embarrassing.
Right. Cool. Also, with how horrible White Sox attendance is,
Yeah.
pretty easy to find this guy. Immediately was singled out, thrown out. So good job, good White Sox fans.
I'll say this, like, because I'm a little vindictive, I hope his mom's disappointed.
Sure. Hey,
Yeah.
you're the organization where one of your fans just got chosen by God to be Pope,
Okay.
and you're going to behave like this? Hey, loser. Channel your inner Pope a little bit.
Current Pope, not some historical Pope.
The White Sox.
The White Sox Pope, Leo. Also, there's probably not going to be a ton of space to fit this in, but Chase Burns striked out like the first 6 guys he ever saw in baseball. That's so good. It's awesome.
Yeah. We talked about that in real time.
That's so sweet,
Yeah.
dude.
What a debut.
As good as it gets. 2 Men On. 95.9 FM, 96.10. Hey. 14.
sports animal.
Welcome back to Human On. 5 o'clock. Pretty cool o'clock, if you ask me. Anyone going on a trip?
Take a little trip.
Well, you can't because you weren't here. The
I
friends
can
of the
still
show,
go on a trip, dude.
you can't with the sports animal.
Don't tell me you can't go on that trip.
I'm
I'll
telling
go
you,
on that trip.
there are certain rules.
I can't win the trip.
What do you do?
Oh, a friend of the show, if you win, I'll go with you.
No, you will not go with. Van lying. Van is alive.
If I know you and like you, and you bring wine, I'll go on a very romantic railroad excursion.
A
with
very
you.
romantic train ride
The highest train ride in the lower 48, I've been told.
in a narrow galaxy. Now, what kind of wine do you want on the train? I feel like that's a red wine, but I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
Well, mostly red. Mostly
It's
red.
mostly red.
I do like a nice Marlboro New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. I'm really into those.
Hold on. At elevation?
I don't care anywhere.
Well, how's it going to
I'm a
maintain?
cheap date at elevation.
Is it bottled at sea level and then brought here? Or like, walk me through this process.
Have you? Okay, so you're familiar with planes and trains and automobiles.
Yes.
There's also ships.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways.
It gets shipped here, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
It has to be bottled at sea level, though.
doesn't have to be.
It does.
You could bring the you could put the cask on an airplane and bottle it at altitude.
I don't think so, because it would need to, number one, it would have to be like climately controlled. Like, because if you're going to send it from, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming this is coming from the Champagne region of France, is that correct?
No, I just said the Marlborough region of New Zealand.
All right, so I wasn't super
So that's my
listening to that
favorite.
part.
That's my favorite white, besides Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it's going to, now you know what happens to wine when it crosses the equator.
Start speaking Spanish.
That is accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. It goes from white to,
Blanco.
yeah, Blanco,
Mhm.
or Blanco to white. That's the point.
Yeah.
What would you pair it with, like on this? And just to make sure everyone knows that we're talking about
Yeah.
the Cumbres and the Toltec Scenic Railroad, where you'll get tickets to the longest and highest narrow gauge railroad in America. Plus a $150 gift card. You can get that at sportsanimalabq.com.
How do they do that?
You go to the sportsanimalabq.com.
Okay, and then enter there.
And for there,
Can I use one of my burner emails?
again, you cannot win. Also, friends of the show that know Van, the handful of people that know Van, I'm telling you, you can't win either.
I'm not putting my name. Karate Master 42069 is going to win this.
If anyone named Gerbitz wins this,
You'll know who it is. Anybody from the Durbitz family, whether it's Ronnie or Uncle Flurm.
vlog.
What's a pair with wine? Good question.
Yeah. Only what the pair of wine when you're on the Cumbres and Toltec
Yeah.
Scenic
No, we're
Railroad.
talking about airplane first. So on an
All
airplane,
means of transportation.
not peanuts.
Hey, also this only passenger and everything you're saying. We're not talking about operating a single thing.
Well, they hardly do anything. Like you can drink and be a pilot these days. Come on, man.
I saw a comedian was a pilot.
Yeah.
Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside. All I need. So if you're on a, what did you say, a boat?
Now we can do train.
All right, we're starting. We're starting
Okay.
with train.
You can't have peanuts on a plane. Sick and tired
Yeah.
of all these
Yeah.
bleeping peanuts
Okay.
on this bleeping plane.
Salted.
On this mother salted peanuts
If I'm gonna have wine on a
on
plane,
this mother roasted plane.
which I will have wine on a plane. I don't mind this.
Mhm.
But what I'm gonna bring onto that plane with me, and I'm gonna get it at the Hudson before I get on the plane, is I'm gonna get
Hudson? Is that a river?
no, it's a little store at the airport.
The Hudson.
So it's got like a.
Is that a
books.
Midwest thing?
It's got like books. No, it's all over the country.
Is it called
and out of this little mini
It's
bodega.
not an in and out. It's a Hudson.
No, they're walking in and out
Okay.
of those little airport bodegas. They've
Yeah.
been called Hudsons this whole
I
time.
think so. Got a little blue logo. So I'm walking in. Here's what I'm doing. Yeah, I had it exactly right. Turd. Hudson News.
I wasn't.
So I'm going in there and I'm getting to pair with my wine on an airplane some chocolate dip pretzels.
Smart. It's a good one.
That's a good pairing. Killian, have you ever had wine or are you still struggling?
Oh, it's in the Sunport.
Dude, how
Oh,
about
that's
that?
hilarious. I prefer a Riesling myself
A
because
what?
I'm allergic to most
Ooh.
red wines.
She likes
So-
she likes
Riesling because
her mother was a
Rieslings.
hummingbird.
that's why.
I'm not sure what that means. Is
It's
it 'cause
very
too
sweet. It's
Oh, okay.
very
I don't think
sweet.
it's
It's
sweet.
very
That's
sweet.
funny.
Wildly sweet.
Yeah,
it's
it's very
dry.
sweet. It's
If you want to say semi-sweet to sweet, that would be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a
'Cause
sparkling white is what it is.
I tend to like the red wines, but I also tend to be allergic to them because the cheaper wines have, we think it's like the higher sulfates. So, they just like pump a bunch of stuff there. Oh, this will be good. And then it makes my face itchy. So that's no fun. But the white wines, apparently they don't care as much about. So, Rieslings.
So when you're having allergic reactions to red wine, it's only your face that gets itchy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, see, that makes more sense
Now,
now.
when I see those guys at the bus station, and they're scratching them marks on their face.
They're having wine reactions. That's what it is.
Not
These
quite.
wine heads at the bus station.
Well, if they're drinking Merlot, we're going to drink Merlot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember I tried Merlot and I really enjoyed it, except for my face turned really red after like one sip. And maybe I really didn't even have like a full drink. I was literally just tasting this wine and my face turned all tomato red and got super itchy. It was no fun.
So you're saying if we're drinking Merlot, then you're leaving? You're not drinking any Merlot?
But I mean, yeah, I can. I unless it's like unfortunately, if it's an expensive Merlot, I might try it because I think it's the cheaper wines that have like the excessive sulfates.
Well, you
That's
don't-
probably it.
preservatives
Yeah.
and
Well, you
stuff.
don't want to be sideways.
Great reference. If anybody gets that reference, you're my people.
Train wine, again, is red. I want to be clear.
Train wine.
Train wine.
Unless you're like hopping a train when it don't matter. If you got like a little,
No, not Subway.
if you got a handkerchief tied to a stick and you just jump on a train when it's moving,
Like moving about the country.
it don't matter what type of wine you have. You need the wine.
Well, that's part of the code, the hobo code.
Okay.
When traveling about the country rail to rail with a knapsack on a stick,
First rule of hobo code is you don't talk about hobo code.
well, you can talk about hobo code with other hobos
Right.
that are traveling about the country rail to rail with a knapsack on a stick.
Yeah.
Only they.
So you're thinking there's tens of thousands of hobos listening to this program right now
The
that you're
point-
talking to.
The point I'm trying to get to is hard tack. So that's what you want with your red wine when traveling about the country rail to rail.
Yeah.
Living the life of the hobo code, drinking red with your hard tack, knapsack on a stick.
For sure. Yeah. We can't have loose leaf backing.
No, gosh, no.
No way. We get everywhere.
There'd be remnants,
Mm-hmm.
upwards of some.
Handful, really.
Now, the real trick about traveling the country rail to rail as a hobo, knapsack on a stick, is if you have a traveling companion with 4 legs.
Yeah.
Because that slows you down on the hopping.
Unless they're like a motivational Labrador. When that keeps you focused, keeps you straight,
Well, I think we're just making a little.
keeps your stuff tight.
Did we do plain yet? Oh, that was
Started with
Yeah.
Yeah, we started.
Now, the other time you drink wine in a car is in passenger, but also where it's sealed off, like in a limousine.
Yeah. I don't drink wine in a car,
No.
but I would drink from a carboy.
Okay.
There's I believe 64 ounces of wine.
That is correct.
Yeah.
If I was in a limousine, let's say I was a famous athlete,
Okay.
I'm Cooper Flag tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. He's too young. Bad example. What?
When you're famous, rules don't matter. We discuss this very often on the program.
Yeah, you are fine if you can pay the fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, I totally forgot
Sure.
about that.
Yeah. He's sipping some bubbles tonight. I don't think he's going to drink wine on the limousine.
Yeah.
Limousine is for bubbles.
Also, not 4-4.
Dipping on fofos
Yes,
and tipping on fofos.
that's what I thought you were going to.
A lot of limousines, mainly in Houston, are on fofos.
Full flows.
Yeah.
Because of the
Implication.
yes. So with that, the only thing you know what you're pairing with that in a limousine?
Crackers and cheese.
Good times. Is what I was going to go with. Yeah, I was going to go with celebrate good times.
And if it is Cooper Flag's limo,
Yeah.
a lot of crackers.
That is accurate.
A lot of
The whole thing will be filled out.
Yeah.
And then lastly, cruise ship, obviously. And the answer is the entire freaking buffet.
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Take it out to the patio.
How else am I get rid of my seasickness?
That's what I'm getting to.
Drink wine.
hmm Yeah, I just need to get back to normal, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say.
Is this thing gonna be moving like
Yeah.
this the whole time?
I know you didn't think I could get all that corn off this cob that way.
Ooh.
That's what I would say. On a ship.
Or a lot of other places as well.
Possibly a lot of others.
Mhm.
So there you go. That's why you should go too. Also in the industry, this is the definition of making it your own.
Okay.
SportsChannelABQ.com. Register for your first trip on the Tankful this year on the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad, where you get the tickets to the longest and highest narrow gauge, nice railroad in America, plus a $150 gas card. The only way to win is logging to SportsChannelABQ.com.
The longest and the highest in America, I thought was Snoop Dogg. But if you're telling me it's some Cumbres guy,
According to
I think the shortest and the highest was Willie Nelson.
according to Kalina, this thing's only like 5'6".
Normal then.
Normal. 2 minutes on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, Sports Channel.
Welcome back, tuning on. Welcome back to the program. 43 minutes, 15 seconds until the NBA draft starts. It's at the Barclays Center.
Ooh, Charles Barclays Center?
I don't think that's accurate.
No?
I don't think it's at the
Where is
Charles Barclay Center.
What did you say?
A bunch of people today to me. I guess I was on the front page of the paper today. Did you guys see this?
No.
There you go. On the front page of the paper. That's a nice thing. That's a nice thing, man. I like that. So Cooper Flag, he'll be the first NBA draftee. And then after that, it'll get real boring, right? Because it's not going to be a bunch of dudes where you're like, this is the big impact, opportunity, person, player, position fill thing. And it used to be everyone would make an effort to get a better player or do whatever at that point. But now you only trade to get underneath the apron and the salary cap and whatever else. No one's trying to get better. If you're not the first one, you're not trying to get better.
Super cliche, super low hanging fruit answer. Except for Cooper Flag. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, God, what are you doing that for?
Cooper Flag is a guaranteed generational talent. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as LeBron James.
I am.
But he is going to be a contributing NBA starter for 2 decades. You can get a lot of all-stars. You get some MVP votes. I'm not saying we're talking GOAT status, but he is guaranteed to be a quality NBA player. Everyone else, roll them dice, baby.
Hey, now, here's what I'm saying.
Maybe not Dylan Harper. That's
The
multi-generational.
basketball player,
Yeah, not the actress.
adjacent.
Sure.
I'm more familiar with one of those works than the other one.
Way more of them.
One of them, incredibly familiar with.
One of them, by the way, if I get like a really bad accident,
Yeah.
erase the search history, Fred. You're my boy.
Well, you're
do
in
it.
People know you're into the NBA draft, dude. Yeah, it's no big deal.
Kaylina, don't look up that person on the work
Kaylina,
computer.
Not, dude.
Not on the work
Not
computer.
here.
Good. Good.
Your
Noted.
personal phone is fine.
Yeah. And in incognito mode. You're an Android user. I'm not trying to put your business out there. But that's gross. Do you even have incognito?
Yes, we do.
Incognito.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I thought it was only on the
Silly.
iPhone.
Yeah, no, you're not that cool.
What do you mean that cool?
Because
Incognito
iPhone
cool?
people are super cool, dude.
We got blue bubbles.
How long have we
We send each other pictures and videos. It's awesome.
how long have we been in a relationship?
I believe we just had our 8-year
Our
anniversary.
8-year anniversary.
Yeah, June 1st.
And I made Dan jump over the iPhone train like a year in.
Yeah, people have been berating me for years,
Yeah. And I
and then
broke it.
you were the finally one. You were finally the one where I
Yeah.
was like, I can't hear this anymore.
Well, it was the real issue was obviously your father didn't love you. That's number one.
Duh.
And I thought this would help you get there. Does he currently love
Now that I have an iPhone,
you? Yes.
Well, once I switched, I made the whole family switch.
He's, yeah, it's a lot warmer.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot warmer now. Told you.
So he's also blue now. Not politically.
No.
No, very red. But his bubbles are blue when I text him.
Yeah, he's an Android loser and he looks like one.
Cut.
Boston, Atlanta, and Brooklyn finalized the trade. That's 3 teams. That sends Kristaps Porzingis and a second-round pick, don't care about that, to the Hawks.
Yeah.
Okay. Terrence Mann, the writer from Field of Dreams.
The guy you were named after, his brother, Manfred Mann's brother, Terrence.
That's awesome. And Atlanta's number 22 pick, all right, to the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they have 5 of them.
Yes.
And
On next season of Hoarders, the Brooklyn Nets
ooh, that's a good one.
and first-round draft picks.
It's celebrity hoarders then.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's the one with the little drink.
Except for, I dare you to name Brooklyn Nets GM right now. President of basketball operations.
Oh, I could do
You
it.
can't name them. They're not a delivery.
I could do it.
Stop Steve Nash. It's not Steve Nash. It's not Steve Nash.
And then a guy named, I don't know who this cat is, Georges Niang, and a second rounder goes to the Celtics. Okay, there's your traded cut. Kristaps Porzingis, good, not great.
When he's on the court,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think he was very.
he's like a white European Zion. Whenever he's on the court, he is really good.
He didn't have that hype though.
No, not at all.
No.
But the results are the same.
The results were the same. Now, if you're Brooklyn and you have 8, 19, 22, 26, 27,
Yeah.
which is also the combination of Van's luggage, just so everyone knows.
1, 2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4.
5.
That's also the combination of my luggage. So they're going to make a move. Probably Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey. I don't know. Go get someone.
Dylan Harper's going second. I don't know to what team.
I just told you the Nets are going to trade up for him.
The Spurs don't want all those garbage picks that the Nets have at the end of the draft. Nobody wants those.
I think they're good.
Just go buy actual lottery tickets. Quit spending them on human beings. Go buy an actual lottery ticket.
I think that just happened in San Antonio. Like some guy in Texas bought all the numbers.
Incredible.
Yeah. How can you be at that many?
Yeah, I've been saying that for years. But there's a big problem. Not a billionaire. I can't afford 330 million numbers
I think it was a co-op.
Yeah.
It was a co-op.
of 100 millionaires. It didn't take a billionaire. It just took 1,000 millionaires.
This is like when I play the roulette table. Look, there's only 4 numbers I can miss on.
Again, that is not how either math or probability work. You can't pick more numbers than there are
Brett,
payoffs.
Brett, what are you doing? Betting the inside third, the odds, and red. Well, if any of those hit,
Yeah.
I'm the man, homie.
00, 12, and 14. That's the only way you can lose.
I hate those. If 12 comes up, I'm flipping the roulette table.
They have it bolted down.
We don't know
for
that.
a I am familiar. Yeah. all those casino tables everywhere you go are very much bolted down for people like you,
Why didn't Ace Bailey work out for anyone?
because he wants to plummet down to a good team or have a good team trade up for him.
That's a good point.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, somebody's a serious suitor to get Ace Bailey. What? I wonder even saw him work out. He's a Rutgers kid, right? There's like 2 Rutgers kids.
Second and third picks.
They weren't very good.
The team wasn't. The 2 players were.
Oh, I've seen this with the Colorado Buffaloes before.
Correct.
Ace Bailey's fallen to the 5th round.
Mhm.
He's cooked.
Got some news for you.
Yeah.
There's no 5th round in the NBA.
Also, put a governor on his car. I don't trust it.
He's not from Georgia.
Neither should her. None of them are. Got this more NBA updates. 828,000 is how much each Thunder player gets for winning the championship.
800?
$828,000.
You think the rest of the teams would try harder?
So the Oklahoma City Thunder divided 12.4 million by the number of players on the team, which I don't know what that is, and got 828,000 per player in prize money. That's pretty good. Now, there's no set amount of prize money given out to the winners of the NBA championship. There's a $34.7 million player playoff pool of funds made up of ticket sales to incentive regular season success and playoff wins. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Every team that makes the playoffs receives a portion of the player playoff pool monies. And the more wins they have in the regular season, and the further they advance in the postseason, the more monies they get. This team won a lot of games.
They won all of them.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's 3 of the last 4 at the end. It was close. They didn't win all those. The team with the best
But they won more than anyone else
at the
So
whole
they
time.
get
Yeah.
$800,000.
But they didn't win the most ever. That was Golden State, but they didn't win the championship that year,
Right.
which is a whole different conversation.
Mhm.
So the team with the best overall record in the regular season is given the largest cut. Let's go. I'm into that. So before the playoffs even start, they were guaranteed the most money. So cool.
Whoa, the best team won?
The best team, yeah, first time, long time.
Wild.
Now, this is the thing that you and I would describe as life-changing money, and this is what Keelan calls a weekend in Vegas.
Mhm.
I get it.
Yeah.
Different for folks who stroke. I get it. Basketball. Stroke basketball. Now, I think NBA players are the highest paid athletes in professional sports. That's my understanding. With time played versus money. Baseball obviously doesn't count in this example.
I think per game it has to be the NFL.
For like one or two dudes.
Yeah.
Not for all of them. So the finals MVP, which was this guy, SGA, he's about to sign the largest contract in NBA history. That's what
Are there any Canadians
Yeah.
in the NFL that
Yeah.
you know of, you're
Yes.
aware of?
Yeah.
Okay. Bet on them to win the MVP. MVP in Major League Baseball, the NHL, and the NBA. Bam, bam, bam. 3 in a row. All Canadians.
Is that real?
Yeah. You can tell from their beady eyes and their floppy heads.
And a lot of people would say Kenny Omega is the best pro wrestler on earth right now, too. So let's call that 4.
Is he from Canada?
Yes, yeah. 5 years, $380 million. So his his $828,000. Hear me out.
Okay.
Give it to the Boys and Girls Club in Oklahoma City.
Or Albuquerque.
Hey,
That'd be nice.
or Albuquerque.
Have you tried emailing him?
Yeah.
Oh, you get your people with his people?
Kayleen, I know you have a lot of followers. Will you do me a favor? Shoot a text. No, shoot a direct message. Am I getting that verbiage correctly?
All right, running back
Sure.
for the Bengals, Chase Brown.
Yeah.
If he sets a new record for the NFL, he might be a Canadian MVP.
I'm into that.
Pretty thin after that. Chubba Hubbard,
Also Canadian?
also Canadian.
Who knew?
Me, because I just Googled it.
The NBA leads postseason payouts. There you go. So the NFL, the max payout, and obviously it's more players, is $357,000. Major League Baseball is $477,000. Less players, more money. NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's broke down for your success. You get the idea. Winning pays, kids. And that's a ton of money for half the roster. God, can you imagine? Hey, just do good at work, get a bonus.
The bonus system works. Obviously, people should have a good flat salary that takes care of their
Yeah.
life and their bills and expenses.
But incentivize them.
But incentivize.
That's like Gielina. I see her passing out coupons at concerts, and now she's in here producing the show. Do a good job, give more opportunity.
Like us, if we have the most listened to English language show in the
Currently
Southwest,
going on.
and we're rewarded with high fives.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, feels good.
Yeah. And, you know, I'll say this on air. When I'm enjoying my milkshake at the 6-6 Diner, I earned that.
I drink your milkshake.
Zoom it on. 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey! Sports Animal.
I drink it.
Thank you. I've seen Isaiah mess with that too, and I was like, it's I don't know.
I could try to get 2 numbers
Welcome back to Tim and On.
because
So, again, it happened, and then they made fun of.
Are we in or out? Kaylina, like, what's your heart?
She just
I'm
she really likes that part.
We'll turn it
Just
up.
Bring it
What
back.
do you do?
Bring it back.
Oh no, it's gone. It's gone. I'm sorry. Was lost on the wind.
Tell you what.
So I'm saying I have to turn
Not
it down
lost,
and hit
it was on the
kids
glass
to go
table.
and make fun of me, and it's not. It's not me. Anyway,
Please gonna
sorry. I
please
have a
gonna
poop
put
on
my
my
music
tongue.
in there in a second.
I'm a what?
Why not?
Just slide your own music in there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Your personal hits.
Oh, just give me some time with that.
You a little anxious.
I just haven't done that in a while. We'll see if I'm successful.
I feel like you'll do fine.
I think we
Okay,
all
cool.
define our
The
own
confidence
success.
That's it.
Oh, Vans. Okay, fair. Great pep talk. Oh, it finally turned off. It turned off.
You'll
Okay.
also have
You want me to play my own music?
depending upon your definition of success.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But as the bumper music?
Kaylina currently is.
you have to upload it.
She's the most successful person I know.
Thank you. Thank you. He's making
Get a lot
fun.
of compliments in your life, or no?
If you want to play your own music,
Sure. Sorry. Manny's trying to help me. I need to just. Okay.
What's going on in the NBA?
play
Yes,
off
Grayson
PC1.
Allen's going to
Okay.
get
You're not trying to play it off
Here's
bumper
on the move.
because
It
takes
messes
a while.
it up, huh?
no, it just takes long.
There's a good
And
landing spot.
Once you do it,
The Rockets, almost called them the Astros. The
Okay,
Rockets.
I've only ever done it off
just
the
got
computer,
rid
but then
of
every host we talked to
Dylan
is
Brooks.
like, oh, so there's the bumper
So
music.
we're in the
Oh.
market for a
it's better
douche.
to put that in
But
beforehand.
Grayson Allen like to join the
That's
Rockets.
why they have all these options and
Yeah.
stuff, but you're like, you're on the fly.
Big
Don't
douche
worry.
shoes filled,
Yeah.
brother.
Use it easy.
Okay. Sorry.
Celtics
Even if
even
it's
Derek
something
White and
like-
Jalen Brown.
You're like, it's quick to
Celtics
do this
are
because you have to
entertaining
edit it, you have to make it
Offers
away
on
file.
every player on their roster. Out Jason Tatum, but why not everyone else?
No one wants him. He's hurt.
So it's
Sorry,
like,
I just find it
I love
really
it.
hard
Take a
to
year off.
like
Your team's already cooked.
multitask.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Trade
when it's
everyone
fun, and
whose
I'm
name is in a
capitalized.
Crayola box.
So he was
And
like
then
making fun of me. He's over
Figure
here
it out in 2 years.
trying to tell me how to use my music. And he's like, you can't take a compliment. And I'm like, I don't think
They
it's
traded
a
Drew
compliment.
Holiday the other day. And Portland, is that accurate?
Okay, so
And he's
thank
like,
you.
I'm
I'll
not
do
trying to
that.
go to
I'm
Portland.
gonna
I
go
don't
in
think you're
and
serious. Okay, that was the only
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I gave
Yes.
you one.
He was also before he went to Boston
I figured, okay,
for
that
like
makes sense.
Actually,
30 minutes as well.
Yeah.
I just need you to try it out.
No,
I'll figure it out.
I've been to Portland. It's the most bottom tier city in the country.
I don't think it's that bad.
I've been there.
I'm not crazy about the Pacific Northwest period because of all the cloud cover and rain.
I'm okay with that. My big problem is the people.
You're not a TiVo guy.
What is that? Is that when you record a video off your television and then watch it later?
You're thinking of TiVo, but no, they're really sand.
To minimize
What you
it.
do is you use your TiVos to push the gas and brakes of your
I was
Subaru.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Not Drew Holiday.
Hey, Louise.
About that life.
Super
Oh,
Drew,
no, I'm doing that. I was here yesterday.
I apologize.
Super Drew Holiday.
He's an immediate fit. Five-tool player.
Oh, thank you. I do
Kyrie
appreciate
Irving.
that. Did you want to?
Quit, and then
Even
immediately
better.
came back. So that's breaking news.
2 point
Okay, I'll
guards
let them know
today
you're here.
took under
Sounds good.
market
Thank you so
value
much,
for their
Alex.
services to stay in Texas.
What? Who else did that?
Kyrie Irving and
Oh,
Fred Van Vliet.
So there, I saw what you're talking
like
about,
I
and
can
this
pull
allows
it
me to
and
hit
bring
the
it back when I need it.
non-taxable minimum
Yes,
max
yes.
transaction opportunity, whatever all that stuff is,
Yeah.
I
which
had a
means
caller
they get a
who
mid-level
said,
veteran
"Here's
at a
a
max
caller,
contract
and I know
of $50
somebody
million.
who will break
Whatever.
both your
Correct.
legs for
That's
50 bucks." I'm
give
like,
you
oh, geez.
numbers.
Yeah.
He's all even
Fred
pushing
Van
50.
Kyrie Irving did exactly what you're describing.
Okay.
Fred Van Vliet took like half of his market value. He lost $20 million. He's given away $20 million to stay in
I
Houston.
feel like
Hey,
it works
Because you don't want to
better,
end up like DeMar DeRozan.
but it's like a threshold.
Just all the
of where
time
it
being
starts
traded.
working.
No one's ever winning with you.
But just sound better. It just like
He's about to have that energy.
It might be the headphones.
And I want him to
know
do
that
well. I
some
think he's a good player.
of these
The only way he's going to be like a winning player is if he puts.
This could be broken.
Yeah.
Other people there.
I have one that does this. I never would have considered.
Yeah, that part's accurate.
anything
I get it.
less
We
good.
have this talk on the
Howard's
show
not
all the time.
perfect, but
Tom Brady's the example. Taking
Am I
Mark
the head of
Down
still
every single
Okay.
year.
you have Howard online.
Surround yourself with better players. Yada yada yada.
Right.
Why don't other
Okay.
aging
You're the
superstars,
best.
when they're
I
after their
appreciate it.
second contract, why don't they do it as well? And we saw two of them do it in one day.
We accidentally
Kyrie Irving and Fred VanVleet in the same day.
We accidentally talked about the Celtics. So, friend of the show, Howard called. Howard, welcome to the program. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm just going to put you guys on notice. I gave that sweet young lady answering the phone a guy's number that'll break your legs for $50 next time you're mean to her.
You gave her your number.
Yeah,
Howard.
we know what you did.
I told her I didn't give her the $50. Hey, here you go. Since the Lakers are so adept at fleecing other teams,
Mm-hmm.
Jaylen Brown
Why not?
to the Lakers for Bronny James and Dalton Connect.
And
So let me tell you, Lakers fan is very interested in Dalton Connect and Austin Reeves for sure.
Celtics
Yeah.
fan.
Celtics fan.
Yes. Celtics would love that
Boston loves white guys.
so much.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised Grayson Allen didn't go over there.
Yet.
Give it time.
Yeah. And what's the bad rap on Grayson Allen? I mean, I know he's a little bit of a bad boy, went all the way back to when he was a Dookie, but send him over to Houston so Cooper Flag can have somebody watching him. The Dallas.
Yeah.
So Cooper Flag can have somebody watching his back.
Yeah. Give him. You need to give him a protector, just like they did Caitlin Clark. You got to put an enforcer out there.
Get her an enforcer, right?
Yeah. What's that girl's name? I already forgot. Sabrina.
Oh, yeah.
Sabrina Punchy.
The WNBA's got to be more like rugby than anything, but heck, they get after it, don't they?
The biggest laugh I had of this week was watching like a lip reading of the Caitlin Clark fight. There is no civility in WNBA basketball.
No, there is.
Why do they hate nice things? Caitlin Clark got you private planes. They got you more commercials. They got you more sponsorship. They got you more money. What are we going to do? Let's beat you up.
Don't be talking about NBA players who took less money, guys. That's all ashtray money for them.
That's a good point. It's a really good
They
point.
drive around in their Bentleys with rolls of C notes in their ashtray. Come on, man. Do cars have ashtrays anymore?
Not the ones they're in. They're in nicer ones.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't have ashtrays, but they have vape holders.
I'm going to give you guys a tip on how to make the draft interesting
All
tonight.
right.
Alcohol.
Yeah,
Have
well,
a good night.
smart.
Bye.
Now, I know Howard's story a little bit. Howard was accustomed to making ashtrays out of the bottom of beer cans for some time.
Right.
Yeah. Did not mind living that life. Kaylina, welcome back to the show. Kaylina, have you ever smoked a cigarette?
Nope.
Keep it up.
Yeah. That's why kids these days don't get it.
Well, I have asthma, so I was never incentivized to smoke it, to be honest with you.
Well, and we're not trying to downplay your medical disability. That's
Thank
not
you.
what we're trying to do on this show. We're not going to make fun of your diagnosis.
Uh-huh.
But regardless of your asthma situation in front of the show, cigarettes will kill you. Does not have anything to do with asthma.
I mean, this is true, but I just think that I had a higher incentive because I was like, I already can't breathe, and then you try to, it's worse. It makes it worse. Like being around people who smoked was terrible.
The smell of them.
Yeah.
I am old enough to remember smoking on airplanes.
I remember when they banned it from restaurants, and some people thought that was a bad idea.
Mm.
Those people, my parents.
Did you hear stories, Kaylina, about smoking sections in restaurants?
Oh yeah, I've heard some.
Yeah. They were divided by nothing.
Literally nothing.
Nothing. The smoking section was right up against the non-smoking section. The smoke just flew over.
It's a
to the non-
vapor. Yeah, you can totally.
You can't
prevent
actively
that.
smoke there, but there can be clouds of smoke there.
I can see how that was not effective.
Can you smoke in casinos here?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, but
No.
I do remember when they had the smoking at Lake Santa Ana.
It's just like COVID. They all decided,
Yeah, they finally.
well, you know what? Now's the time. Let's rip this Band-Aid off. And as someone who smoked from like 12 years old to 2 years ago, it's gross.
Oh God, dude, you were so gross.
Smoking inside is disgusting. Inside anything,
Well, and
a house, a car, a restaurant, a casino, anywhere, it's gross.
you know, a lot of people hate you. You know,
Oh yeah, long list.
long list.
Yeah,
They
I
used-
still get emails every day.
It's so funny because over the last few years, Kalina, people used to be able to historically say, no, he smokes, I hate him. But
Mhm.
now they have to find or admit the actual reasons.
Yeah,
It's the most entertaining thing you'll
my looks and personality,
Yeah. Demeanor,
demeanor, body, yeah,
political beliefs.
political beliefs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait. So wait, you're saying you don't get fan mail, you get hate mail?
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people hate listening right now.
Is that like a
There are
bigger
most
compliment
passionate
that
fans.
you have trolls that are willing to put in that kind of effort?
Yeah, there's somebody slid into my DMs the other day on the interwebs
That was weird.
and called me an expletive,
Yeah. An anatomy.
Yeah.
Called you an anatomy.
an anatomy expletive, and I love it. I applaud the effort. Thank you. Rent free, I live.
Whatever boosts you up, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the hate mail win. I get it.
Yes, let the hate flow through.
I don't believe there's like a ranking system on if it's good or bad. I think it's like a 1 and a 0. You either have the mail or you don't.
Mm.
Also, you can tell when stuff's running bad. I got one the other day from my wrestling company
Mhm.
where, we got to go to break now. All right, we're going to stretch this quick out to my finish the story. The other day, I got one of my wrestling company, my daddy, Billy Corgan.
Okay.
So Billy Corgan texts me and he's like, hey man, just heads up, got this hate mail or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm looking at it. And it's like, the owner sucks. It's like, oh, I'm sure it's nothing personal. Like this.
Not Billy.
No,
You.
not me.
You. Okay.
And he's like, how'd the show go this past week? And I go, good, except for that one guy, apparently.
That one guy.
I don't know. Thanks for being my professional daddy. It's 2 minutes. 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, Sports Animal. On-air production. No, do I have 5 minutes or do I have 20 minutes? Which one is one bated breath?
I'm assuming we have a minute.
I think we have a minute.
Not like a minute.
That whole suggestion of it's going up the hour, we just threw that out.
Top of the hour, though. Let's go.
That's hey, we're gonna have all the minutes.
You know what happened at the top of the hour?
Draft.
To clarify, real quick, please.
Everybody.
This is the basketball draft,
not World War III.
not the World War III draft. Okay,
That's,
good.
that's the name of our social media.
Let's get this one out of the way.
That's the name of our live stream today. Draft
World
night,
War III
not
draft.
that draft.
Nice.
There's too much war in the world. It's not the right now conversation, but if I had that show,
I would prefer less, and I wouldn't just settle for less. I would prefer zero.
Zero would be my target.
No world. If human beings wouldn't murder each other all the time, that'd be incredible.
I wouldn't. I want to be Nancy Reagan versus war.
The war on drugs, but
The war on war.
Okay. Not wins above replacement. My
No.
favorite statistical metric in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
The actual inner fighting of human beings for any number of reasons. That's the war you're talking about.
War on war.
Okay. Not the Latino funk band from the 70s and 80s. Not
What
that.
is it good for? Not that.
Not that one.
Not that.
You know, more of a Cisco Kid, lowrider, but whatever.
It's a little bit of a pop.
There's pen to pad,
Ah.
word to mic, dear listener.
All the NBA draftees are on the stage in Brooklyn.
Looks like more draftees than picks. Somebody's getting left out.
There's 30 first round picks.
I'm aware.
Hey, friends of the show, there's 30 first round picks. When we get back to the break, we react to the NBA draft, and then we forget about it for 6 months. It's coming on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, we're going to.
loves extraneous
Okay,
valve.
thank you, Annie.
It's like 90% forest.
That's a lot.
That's a lot
There's
because
so much forest.
traditionally when people settled that part of the
Okay,
country,
well,
they used
the
to
monitor
field that
is
part of the country
thinking.
for
It's
hundreds of
on.
years.
It has the
It
Dell
was a
logo.
wood shop before it was like a settlement.
how much wood
I-
shop could a pioneer shop if the pioneer was shopping wood?
Because I haven't had
Oh, shuck and bunch.
So Cooper Chucky Flat in his pre-roll.
All right.
whatever,
This
go
is
ahead.
live.
Update. We
And
got
in
a
the Mavericks War Room,
okay.
where on the back it says consistency and discipline, which Luka
Where are
Doncic
you? Did you
not
already leave
have.
the
No,
station?
got rid of him.
They're all roundly
Oh, son of a bitch.
clapping, so I think they know who they're going to pick.
They might know.
I think the pick is in for Dallas.
Who's
it gonna be?
Who's it gonna be?
No one knows. Could be. anyone.
Oh, really?
So there was no B-roll shot of guys in the barber shop
Oh, okay. Mine
with
froze.
the door open and the camera going in
wow,
slow
okay.
motion up to a fade cut.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know,
so
I mean,
now
there's
the Windows error
there's
recovery
definitely no
is
barber shop
showing.
in Cooper Flag's
I
life.
can't
Look at that
believe
haircut.
You just put a bowl over his head.
I know a Floby cut when I
Yeah.
see it. His grandma
Okay,
still has a
says
functioning
start
Floby.
Windows
It
normally.
sucks. And it cuts.
It certainly does.
So I just hit Windows do not shut down successfully due to system not
So the
responding.
pick is in for Dallas.
Use the
So in
arrow
this
keys to highlight
video,
your choice. Start Windows normally. Okay, so you
they're
hit
showing
enter.
the most picturesque, like
Is it the
B-roll.
keyboard under the?
Yeah, the place is beautiful.
Yeah, this is what a Hollywood movie is set.
Okay.
This is when a little town gives.
Enter.
This is showing
Okay.
cartoon images of mice.
Starting Windows.
What I said.
No, so one moose is a moose.
It's
Multiple moose is a moose.
Successfully
No, there are multiple mooses of mice.
the other
No.
one I
Now, if it was
said.
different
Because
species
I
of
was looking
mooses,
at
then
it,
yes.
But this is
Yeah.
a small.
So
That would be
box to me.
mooses.
Moosai.
Oh, I
multiple
feel bad.
different
I'm
mooses.
sorry,
So
Manny.
one moose is a moose.
Multiple of the same moose is mice.
You're talking about the difference in fish and fishes.
Does that not transfer?
No.
Ah,
If all the fish are the same, you just have fish. If you have multiple fish, that's fishes.
do you think he
This
can
is
like
taking a
talk to
while.
Maine animals
I'm
Yeah,
afraid to touch the other
100%.
one because
That's
I
what I
can't
thought.
multitask.
like Snow White, like talk to the bears and the mice?
I want to make sure OPEX.
I
is
think you can
working.
speak to all the voices of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it
Pocahontas,
says
not
welcome.
Snow White, but
Okay.
Loading.
I know what I know.
Okay.
something.
Now, ESPN went out on a huge branch and sent Marty Smith to Maine to broadcast live for the fan reaction.
Oh, they let him leave the South? That's awesome.
I can't believe that.
This is about as exciting as the last Daytona 500. I'm not
Okay,
sure
so
what
it's just
basketball
on
is,
like
but it
a
seems
desktop.
cool.
Correct. Now, all these fans here, they are upset that Cooper Flag is not wearing the number 3 like the Intimidator, the
Yeah.
way that he should have
Yeah.
throughout his entire playing career. But we will see if he makes that adjustment in
It
the
says
next level.
OPEX Studio
I've been to
client.
some nice restaurants before, but everything smells like lobster
Okay.
here.
Broadcast
Now,
software.
you boys
and
might
National
not believe it
Starting.
down there in your
Okay.
cushy
OPEX
studio
is
in Bristol,
retrieving.
but Pine is not just a scent for
And it's
cars.
good. Okay,
It
cool.
actually
Thank
exists
you.
in the
So now-
wild here.
Is garlic butter a cologne in Maine? I'm asking you.
Guys, all of these houses have lights on them. And I don't mean to keep trespassers away. It's to help the boats.
Okay.
I saw a bear today. They're a lot bigger than in the cartoons.
That's not the reaction I thought I was going to get to the bear story.
So it turned off.
Also, no snakes. Too cold up there. There are snakes up there. So, all right, so the pick is still in, and we are 11 minutes into this.
Milking it.
That's.
We're going to go to break
Yeah.
as soon as they pick up.
That's the one I
But
was
He's worried that
Yep.
he's going to get traded.
So
Thanks
who?
for the lesson
or
of
what?
OPEX now. Now I understand that a
for
little bit
everything.
better. That sounds
How
good.
many picks can you trade? Can you trade 15 first round picks?
Yeah, I kept hearing stories. And I was so
I would
afraid
give
that
you
happened.
15.
So you just
I'll
restart
give you
it
15
and then.
first round picks
Yeah,
for
but
Cooper Flag.
There's a
think I've had
moratorium
that.
on how far out. I think you can only go 7 years out.
Right. It's like the Nets and the Thunder.
Thunder.
Thunder have like
Oh,
15
that's
in the
really
next
good.
5 years.
Yeah.
That's them. Trade to all of them.
Just
All
give
right,
them all
What
right
do you
now,
mean
right?
fully
update
crashed?
from the floating graphic.
Mhm.
The pick is in. So Dallas, which is the Mavericks, They're the first overall
so
pick.
if I
They had a
restart it all
1.4%
like that
chance of
and
getting
it
here,
comes back
something
normal,
similar to
we're
that.
Good, but if it doesn't, then I
And
call
Adam
you?
Silver is up there, and he says, all right, so they did in fact
Okay.
take
Thank you for
Cooper
clarifying
Flag.
that.
Okay, for now.
For now.
Okay, so the other
Now he
computer is
hugs the
20
mom.
or 30%
I assume the
into
mom.
its update.
She looks like a Maine gal.
Manny.
Yeah,
Very Manny.
she's
Okay.
very Maine.
Okay, I
Very
think, I
Yeah.
think crisis
She's
averted.
got
I'll call
she's
you
got
if that
a
changes.
thick mane on her.
She does.
Yeah. And then
Silver-haired
Okay.
Maine pup.
that is correct. I don't see any lady here. Smart move.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I can do
Don't
that
want to
then.
ruin this
Thank
video
you.
clip for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
All right. Well, the whitest table in the entire auditorium, Cooper Flag just got up from, and he is now going to be the first draft pick in all of the NBA.
All right, now it's official. Are you going to order a jersey?
2 men on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, Sports Animal.
Come on. You better give me that.
Texas is still picking in the NBA draft. San Antonio takes Dylan Harper, band number 2.
No surprise.
Went to Rutgers.
Ron Harper's boy.
He played for the Lakers and the Bulls.
Should be a good little basketball.
Good. Now, I know he's about to be busy, but I know he would be excited to go on this Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad trip where you can get tickets to the longest and highest narrow gauge railroad in America van, plus a $150 gas card van. And all you have to do is go to sportsanimalabq.com, register. I mean, that's awesome. Do that. Go on a train ride. Come and ride the train. And ride.
Come on, ride the train.
Thank you.
Choo, ride it.
Dylan Harper trained a lot to get to where he is. Is that not the one? I thought that was fun. I thought that was
Nepotism. Born into it.
not good enough to be the first. Which is fine. Don't have to be. I got some live updates on trade rumors and stuff. You ready?
Okay.
I'm just going to help you out, man.
I appreciate that. I need a lot of it.
No one's been traded since the draft has started. There you go. That's about as good of an update as you can get, really. The best player in America went number 1 in the draft. That makes sense.
Sure. Now I think it's going to get real weird. I think these two are the most sure thing picks. Not a surprise, number 1, duh. Not a surprise, number 2, easily the second best player.
Right.
From here on out, it's going to get weird.
You think this is where your first trade comes in with Philadelphia?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I do.
We could do that very cliche, bold prediction thing. That stuff works usually.
There will be 10 trades of picks and or players. That's going to be a lot of action.
All right, so I'm a guy who likes to support. I'm going to say one of those is the Thunder moving in the top 10.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're eyeing somebody that they assign more value to than somebody else. Bundle some of their plethora, their cornucopia of picks, move up. That's going to be fun.
Also, Giannis ends up with the Nets.
Lakers.
Would be sick.
Just makes too much sense.
If,
or, which I would prefer, the Houston Basketball Rockets. Kevin Durant and Giannis with a super cheap half price Fred Van Vliet. It's winners right there.
Van Vliet!
All these Vliets.
I was trying to come up with a joke for Rockets that rhymed with Ers. Couldn't do it.
Careful.
We're at the number 3 pick right now. It's the 76ers. This trick will get traded along with Paul George. That's not like I read a thing and I'm doing it. I'm just telling you. That's the thing that should happen.
Love the speculation. And whoever
gets Paul George
will have nothing but failure.
Yes.
Like everyone else who's traded for him.
Correct.
And then the 76ers will be in next year's NBA Finals. If this year's NBA Finals is any indication.
Well, it also depends on what happens to Joel Embiid. Because if he's like a healthy dude, he's a good dude. He's never a healthy dude.
Well, he's been healthy 1 year and he's the MVP.
That part's true.
That's
Remember
it.
that one part.
That's it. For the 1 year.
He's the one who goes to the Lakers, if we're being honest.
I'd roll them dice.
Snake eye.
The Lakers get the number 3 pick in the NBA draft.
And a killer guy.
And Joel Embiid for Bronny James. Congratulations,
That's not a fair
Philadelphia.
Fair trade. except for the jerseys we're going to sell. That's what I do need. I need like a rivalry between Ron Harper and LeBron James on how good their kids are going to do. 40 seconds left in the 76ers. So this means it's 100% a trade then.
I'm pretty sure Adam Silver told all these teams, don't you dare put that pick in early. We got to sell commercials, baby. This thing's going till midnight.
You know how all of you guys keep screwing up your calves and Achilles because you don't know how to stretch?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stretch this draft out.
Wear shoes.
Yeah, we're going to teach you a lesson.
Every blown Achilles?
Yeah.
Lows.
Say that part again.
All wearing lows. No
Lows?
mids, no high tops.
Are you being serious? That's
Very
not
serious.
real.
Serious?
Don't wear lows to
That's a
who?
rare thing.
Lace them up.
Not high enough.
All right, so the 76ers pick is in.
Ooh.
I'm a little confused here.
I'm on the middle of my seat right here.
I'm
I'm not the edge, but I'm not all the way back.
I'm more or less fully situated the way I would normally be.
Correct.
In my seat.
I'm up at 90 bit. Like not.
I'm leaning towards the front.
The right. You're leaning towards the
I'm
right.
leaning towards the right. Traditionally, I've progressed to the left, but not now. So the pick is still in, but instead of them telling us,
Right. More infographics.
yeah. And infographics I'm into, if you want to explain to me how the economy works. Adam Silver approaches the, what do you want to call that?
Podium?
All right. He is there. He is speaking. The selection is in. And it's VJ Edgecombe.
Correct.
Now, that's the cat from Texas. So, Baylor.
Yeah.
So,
every pick is going to involve Texas.
yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
That's the end all.
Is the Liver King going to try to fight this guy too?
That's not where Baylor is. Baylor's not.
Not that far though.
Yeah. Close.
Texas is big. For Texas, it's very close.
Oh, my God, dude, the size of Texas. Everything is bigger
That's what they say.
in Texas. So there you have it. I don't think we have a lot of 76ers fans on the program listening. Not all the friends of the show are heavy 76ites.
They probably were historically.
Yeah,
They just
historically.
got sick of dealing with it.
In like a week. Yeah, let's go.
I would take this kid over Ace Bailey. Number one, I think he's got a higher ceiling. And number two, zero trauma.
Like, will work out for you.
Yep.
When we get back from the break, Ace Bailey updates. It's 2 Men On. 95.9 FM and AM 610. Day Sports Channel. Give me a list of things real quick, guys.
Okay, I like things. I like lists.
Snails, sloth,
Okay.
turtles, trees growing, paint drying, melting of ice,
Okay.
pace of life, a leisurely meal,
Okay.
you want to keep going?
I would like for you to keep
Cloud,
going. I'm going to try to figure this out.
decay,
Mm-hmm.
theocracy,
Okay.
trying to move in mud,
All right.
the dripping tap, growing hair, glaciers, koalas, inchworms, the male.
Allow me.
Yeah.
Things you'd rather be doing than watching the NBA draft in between picks.
Supermassive black holes,
Okay.
watching grass grow.
My first guess incorrect.
These are things that move faster than the NBA.
Okay. Thank you. I was close. It was very close.
Pick 4 is now in for the Charlotte Bobcats that are now the Hornets. Also, if that's not true, if it was a different franchise that went into Charlotte afterwards, and Charlotte Bobcats are dead and it wasn't a rebrand, and or if they went to Atlanta or something and redid a thing and they got another team a year later, I don't know. So forgive me.
So I think you might be correct. Is this like a mandala effect kind of thing right now that, like the fruit of the loom never had a cornucopia behind it?
Of course it's not. Who
It
said
was never the Bear Stain Bears. It was always the Bear Seen Bears.
Stand by 1 second. Adam Silver is at the pendulum. Con Knuppel.
Kniple?
No, it's Knuppel. He was
Is
the other
this
guy
the-
from the 2.
The K is silent?
Yeah.
Why isn't the first K silent? Why isn't it on Kniple?
I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna do it as an impression of William Shatner as
Please.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Con!
Do you mean Captain Irk?
Because the K would be silent.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's another example of the Mandela effect, which I think was never happened before in human history until they turned CERN on. So
What is that?
it erased all of human history and reorganized all of the molecules to where we're living in a parallel universe, much like the new Marvel parallel universe.
What is Stern?
CERN is the Large Hadron Collider, and it actually blew up the universe, creating a brand new Big Bang. So the life you're experiencing right now didn't technically exist, but it existed in a parallel universe. So our old timeline, Donald Trump was never president, never murdered Harambe. The list goes on and on and on. But I think the Charlotte Bobcats also fit into that timeline.
Kaylina, welcome back to the program. We know you've been busy. Are you familiar with the Mandela effect?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, we got some Kaylina interaction here. I'm gonna get ready, okay?
I was just absorbing the information. I was following along.
And you
Are you doing-
find it to be 100% true, obviously, everything I'm saying.
Are you doing ASMR whispering in your microphone? Are you doing a thing for the listener?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
No.
Now, do you have an example of Mandela's?
Would you like to give the listeners the address to your Only Guitars page?
Yeah, would you like that?
Certainly don't have one. I'm behind the times.
Now.
I know it's a problem.
Playing it, it's just you like stringing it and the sounds that it makes and putting the wires across the bridges.
Yeah, and like every time we string it, I get off the old ones,
What?
the old strings.
Would you
And
like
take
to
them
be?
off, you sell them to everybody. at
Would
an
you like
auction.
to be the second model on my OnlyVans website?
You have one?
Of course.
Come on.
Oh, I find that 100% believable.
You have no Mandela examples?
Oh no, I totally remember hearing about Mandela and everyone's like, he's dead, and I was one of the people
He
who
is
said
dead.
no.
That is correct.
Now, but at the time,
He died in 2013.
oh my god.
Is that what you were asking?
No, they thought he was dead much earlier than
Who
that.
is they?
Half of the internet.
Victims of the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Oh.
And these people are victims.
All right, give me another example. So you're saying when he died, people already thought he was dead.
Yeah, it was very confusing.
They recognized apartheid as real or no?
I don't know. I haven't.
Different group of people.
I know, but I was saying of Kayleen.
Uh-huh.
So he dies, and people think he died what, like in the 90s or the 80s or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So he wasn't dead. But like, what's another good one? I don't understand.
Wasn't it the that movie?
Okay.
Movie title.
Yep. I don't know what that means.
It was either Sex in the City or Sex and the City.
Oh, good point.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what that is that is a way to circumvent copyright to produce cheap merch when you are selling it on the sidewalks in New York to tourists.
Mhm.
That's a marketing ploy.
I mean, I believe you, but if you've seen the videos of people trying to piece all this together, it is really amusing, the conspiracy behind it. Like, they are convinced. They're like, look, I have evidence. And that's fine. For them, it works.
Quick side note. This is so wheat that with the 4th pick in the NBA draft, the Charlotte Don't Call Me Bobcats
Yeah.
get the Diet Coke of Cooper Flag. They get K-Sig Cooper Flag with the 4th pick.
Just
That's
like-
incredible.
Just like Adam Morrison.
Yeah.
Also, it's for the record, for a friend of the show, it's and the city. It's not in the city. The city is part of
I
cast.
was forced to see a couple episodes.
Oh, I've watched a ton of it. It's very
a
good.
lot of sex in the city.
Well, it's not the verb, it's like the existence.
Sex.
Yeah. And the city.
Ampersand the city.
You could use an ampersand.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's just people confusing brands, right? Like, it's not a real thing. Because I'm not hearing any real examples.
Yeah, the only convincing one for me, I guess, is the Mandela one, where people legitimately thought he had already died. So then when he did pass away, they were really, like, it kind of went away. Like, people were talking about it and adamant that he had died. And then people just dropped it. And then when he actually died, everyone was really confused about it. It was just so many people.
Same thing with Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs is very much alive.
He's been dead for a long time, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I get that people like can't differentiate like small changes in logos. I thought you were going to say something like Kit Kat never had aluminum paper around it, and I'd be like, yes, it did
Sure
up
did.
until 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I would have been like, okay, you're crazy.
The best one is Berenstein Bears.
Yeah.
It was never Berenstein Bears. It was Berenstain Bears.
Okay.
And no amount of evidence or book covers will convince people that it was Stain, not Steen.
Or Stein. Or Stein. There are a lot of pronunciations.
Well, there you have it. Utah's put their pick in, and they're choosy kids. It was never called Jiffy. It was just called Jif.
Correct.
Yeah.
That one I was not confused about.
Ace Bailey is going to play basketball for the Utah Jazz. It's 2 men on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, 14.
came to play. We 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 came to play.
Welcome back to Two Men On. The NBA draft is drafting. There have been absolutely zero picks since we told you about the last pick, which was it Ace? Is that who went?
Ace Bailey.
He got home.
His precipitous slide was not as much as expected. I feel bad.
Okay.
Feel bad for the fans of Utah Jazz that they got neither Cooper Flagg or Con Knight.
Okay.
A lot of upset people in North Face jackets right now.
I don't know that part. What's that part?
It's just a very Anglo thing. It's okay.
Okay. I looked a little bit more into the Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's real.
What's real to some people might not be real to you.
This to me seems like you're not paying attention to things you shouldn't pay attention to. That's it. It's okay. Like misquote things. Like that's not the end of the world. Fine. I mean, whatever.
I mean, you would think that Looney Tunes would be TOONS, like cartoon.
That is correct.
Yeah. It's in fact TUNES for whatever reason.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Curious George?
No.
A monkey?
They had sound, dude. When they were, there was a period when there was no sound.
See, this is Mandela effect in action.
What do you?
It was never TOONS.
I didn't say it was.
Curious George never had a tail.
The monkey?
He's a monkey. A tailless monkey.
Hey, man,
Mm-hmm.
same.
Hundreds of thousands of years ago you did, but not now.
Who is saying he has a monkey? He had a yellow hat, or a guy that had a yellow hat. That was his thing. All right, the pick is in for Washington. We'll tell you who has it. I'm okay with Curious George being
I'm not anti.
bipedal or whatever.
The monkeys have tails.
Not all monkeys have tails.
And it is animal abuse to remove the most important balancing appendage of a monkey. The man in the yellow hat is a psychopath. He cut off Curious George's tail at some part in that poor little monkey childhood.
All right. If you think Trey Johnson is the draft pick for Washington, by the way, Trey Johnson, the guard from Texas, is not going to play for the Washington Warriors, Wizards, or Bullets. I don't know which team name. General. There is no way a tail has more to do with balance for a monkey than its legs.
The tail provides the balance for the monkey.
No.
Counterbalances its weight.
Also,
it is a very important part of monkey balance. Everybody knows that.
Is Curious George an ape? Because I got some bad news for you. They don't have tails, dude.
Curious George was a curious little monkey. They didn't say ape in the theme song.
Okay.
He was definitely a monkey.
So, or he was identified.
Okay, well, that's a different effect, not Mandela.
I don't think Mandela effects are real. That's all I'm trying to get to. None of the things that you have named are actual things.
To other people, they are. To me, not so much.
The only one that I've ever heard of where I laughed in the face of a person
Mm-hmm.
when they told me that they saw the movie Shazam.
See, that's a big one.
There is no movie Shazam. There's a movie called Kazam, and it had Shaquille O'Neal,
Mm-hmm.
and I could see he made that mistake. That tracks. That's what a little kid would do. An idiot.
Well, Sinbad and Shaquille O'Neal are two wildly different human beings. I could understand some people getting that mixed up.
Shazam, I think, is how I figure out what song is playing at a bar.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
But also, if it's on KRST, I can just log into the website and look. That's a real example. Pelicans are on the clock. We will probably get through this one before the end of the show. Hard, maybe.
2 more picks tops.
There's no way we will get through 2 more picks. This thing is too slow motion. Also, no trades from Philadelphia, which I'm a little surprised about. I thought for sure.
Or any trades at all so far.
It's been nothing.
Nothing.
You think it's been some or nothing?
No one wants part of this Boston Celtics fire sale?
I mean, you got to get the price right? Also, we don't have the volume on here in the studio because that'd be bad radio. But the crowd went hard on Nico and that the draft was rigged whenever Dallas was picking.
I'm not against it. I love a good conspiracy theory.
I hope it doesn't follow that dude around, though. He didn't need that heat. It's not his fault.
The kid.
Yeah,
sure.
Not like this. Not like this. That's what he's saying. Which I'm into. Also, if you're going to go hard at the league because you're mad at the league, go hard at the league. But not that kid. I didn't see his post interview, but I'm sure it was perfect because he had months to prepare.
Yeah. Yeah. His PR team, I'm assuming, is on point.
I mean, this stuff starts in high school now. Dudes at this level.
Also, I don't anticipate a kid from Maine saying a lot of the wrong things in these situations.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, he could say things that maybe not everyone in every other part of the country agrees with, which is fine. But I think it's going to be crazy. The only football story I saw today, which I really liked, was the dude, George Pickens, who super sucks. You familiar with him?
Oh, very much so.
So he had a youth camp in Pittsburgh that he no-showed. And Pat Fireman stepped up and did the whole camp.
Dude. That's a dude.
Kind of a cool thing. But this is that George Pickens kind of stuff. We've been talking about him since his name kind of came back up postseason. And he got traded to Dallas.
Did he at least start a new one in Dallas?
I don't know.
You're not CeeDee Lamb.
Wasn't Fireman's camp, still came in and did it, which was awesome. And when was he traded? Right after the draft? Is that when he got traded, George Pickens? Seems like it was right. So, that dude's had the potential for immaturity and pettiness forever. That's what I've seen. And it knows no limits currently. Character concerns, ample. Also, if you have problems, show growth. Oh, didn't do it. Traded away. Pat Fireman. I'm not a Pat Fireman guy. Also, if it's Firemuth, I apologize.
It's Berenstain mute.
Okay. Mandel. Been Mandel. All right, the pick is in for New Orleans. It's going to be under the wire on if we get this one.
Yeah. I don't anticipate we are.
No one in the crowd is on their feet or excited. At all. right, the pick is in. So it's number 7 in round 1. This is New Orleans. Here comes Adam Silver. Right, he's going through the little spiel. We can't hear him, but we're going to see it on the TV. They also drafted him before the end of the round. They took Jeremiah Fears out of Oklahoma. So there you have it.
Ooh, I like people whose names are verbs.
Yeah, I agree. I like guys whose last names are what villains in the movie ask you for.
They dropped the No Man at Ellis Island when he came to America.
No Man Fears.
Fears No Man.
Oh, okay. No Fear was your favorite clothing line in the 90s.
I was able to duck that bullet and never wore No Fear. That's one of the few trends that I missed out on in the 90s.
Hey, Alina, say something nice.
That's all I got. Just kidding.
She's a
Happy to be
professional
here.
radio, everyone. Van? Oh, go ahead, Keely. I didn't mean to walk over you with the walking music.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. That was it.
Van, final words?
Oh, my goodness, my friend. Too much for the time allotted. Anything we didn't cover, make sure you check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff and JJ.
It's Isaiah in tomorrow.
And say,
No Jay.
bonus.
Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.
See you at the Duke store tomorrow, Burke.